In this video, I'm going to give you the best high-level XP farming strategy for The Witcher 3 after the next-gen update. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush The Witcher 3. In this video, I'm also going to give you an overview of all the high-level and also at the end, the low-level XP farming strategies. So you want to watch all the way to the end so you pick the one that you like the best because you have several choices. So the big problem with being in The Witcher 3, if you get more than 6 levels above the quest, then you can't get any more XP. And a lot of people like to farm XP. They have weird ideas. They want to get to level 100 with one playthrough, or maybe they want to get to level 60 with their first playthrough so they can have level 100 Witcher School armor in their NG+. All those are decent goals, but they're not really achievable because the highest level quest is like 49 if you have Blood and Wine. But with the next gen update, they have changed it so that there's some mystery around the Destroyed Bastion, and it has secret level wraiths. I suspect they're about 90 level, but they actually have question marks, and they give a ton of XP. So each run, which took me about 5 minutes each, but I bet you could get that down, maybe down to 3 minutes. But at 5 minutes, you'd get about 4,000 XP per hour killing these wraiths, and you get about 400 XP per run. Now, to kill them, you have to kill them a special way. You have to kill them with your sign. So I want to thank Dravlinge for showing me this method. So evidently the X-Letails made a video about this mystery where you pull down the levers in 3 ruined towers between the crossroads and the Destroyed Bastion. This is east of Bald Mountain in Velen. So between the fast travels of Crossroads and Destroyed Bastion, you'll find 3 towers. You pull down those levers, and then that's going to spawn an elemental. You need to kill the elemental, and that's going to spawn a portal on a hill. You go to the portal on the hill, you drop down the tower. The bottom of the tower will be the, quote, unkillable wraiths. But you can kill them if you this piercing cold build. So I recommend that you have totally maxed out your aard sign, so you're using aard to kill them. So you want to get like the full aard tree. That's why this is a high level thing. You also want to have piercing cold. That means you need the mutagen tree. You know, I think if you probably put all blue skills in your tree, and then you put all greater blues slotted outside, that would like maximize your damage. And I'm doing this on story, by the way, right? I'm not sure how effective this would be killing them on Death March. There's no reason to use Death March after you've completed the whole game. You've already got the trophy. You should get the trophy for Death March after you've defeated the Wild Hunt. So by the time you're done with Ciri's story and you're in Blood and Wine, and those are the only quests that are anywhere near your level, it doesn't matter if you're doing it on story or Death March. And I think these wraiths have been added with the next gen update. That's X-Letails' take. I don't remember this whole thing, and I played the game through several times before the next gen update. So I take, and you know, I doubt many people played through the game more than X-Letails has. I think this is a new XP farming strategy new to the next gen update. Before we discuss other XP farming strategies, I just want to give you a few more tips with the wraiths here. So the wraiths by the Destroyed Bastion, you're probably going to want to meditate so that you're doing this at night, and I would use a Tawny Owl, which will increase your stamina regeneration, and because it's at night, then it'll never run out. The other thing I would use moondust bombs, which will speed up, so because the wraiths are coming in and out, the moondust will allow you to hit them with your aard. And the aard has a wide range, but if they're hitting you with their swords, you can't do it. So you want to make sure that you have enough space to complete the sign. You're going to need to repair your armor and swords quite a bit for this, so I would buy a lot of those repair packs if you don't want to fast travel to a smith or armorer to repair them. But the least amount you can get hit, the better. You also absolutely do not want to hit them with swords. So if you're going to draw a sword, draw the steel sword, but don't use it except in extremis just to get them off you. You do not want to kill them with either the silver sword or the steel sword, but at least the steel sword won't do very much damage. If you kill them with either one of those swords, they will be immortal and they won't die. So I made that mistake early on. Just aard them. Don't kill them with the steel sword or the silver sword. Now, once you get to the second chamber and you do your aards a few times, that portal will open up. You don't want to go into the portal until you kill the last one. So you got to kill them all to get just under 400 XP in your run, and you can loot them or not loot them. It doesn't really matter. At this point, I think you'll have so many green mutagens you won't know what to do with them. But of course, the wraith mutagens you can convert into lesser greens beneath Corvo Bianco in the alchemy lab, and then you can craft lesser greens to greater greens. But for this, you're going to want to be slotting the greater blues. Other potions you possibly could use, I use white honey when I kind of maxed out my toxicity. I also would use, maybe to start out with, Petrie's filter to give us just that much more. Full moon gives you a little bit of health. You might want to down a swallow to start out with, because that'll just get you healing, and you want to eat something while you're fighting to also get that healing. And you could lay down Urdens to trap them, but that takes up stamina, which you probably want to use on your aard. So I just use my aard most of the time, and then the moon dust in the moon dust bombs in lieu of Yrden. But I don't think I have it optimized, and I bet a lot of you could get 3 levels an hour, like 6,000 XP per hour, even though I was only averaging about 4,000 XP per hour. And you can do this all the way to level 100 because these wraiths are so high level. Now I'm going to tell you about some other XP farming strategies that are maybe as good. So just as an overview, I think this will get you 4,000 per hour. The other 2 strategies that I think are good to get high level, so to go from level 50 to 100, the wraiths here near the Destroyed Bastion, Hattori, if you've not completed Hattori's quest, 2,000 per hour, and then the Necker Nest. There's 2 Necker Nests that will not be destroyed. You can destroy them by meditating for 4 hours and repeatedly destroy them for 20 XP each, which gives you about 1,500 XP. So this race strategy, you get about 2 levels per hour. Hattori will give you about the Hattori Axie Dialogue trick. If you've not completed Hattori's Sword and Dumplings quest, will give you about 2,000 XP per hour, and the Neckers will give you about 1,000 to 2,000 XP per hour. It's a little less than the Sword and Dumplings. The downside with it, there's not a ton of downside with the Neckers, except it's slow, but you do get, you can loot the nest. If you leave something in the nest, you can repeatedly loot the nest, and so you get a little bit of money from that. For the race, you can loot the wraiths, and you'll get emerald dust and wraith mutagen. And then for Hattori, you're not getting anything. And if you don't complete Hattori's quest, I guess the downside with not completing Hattori's quest is that you will not get the blade from the bits, which is now probably the best steel sword in the game because it levels up with you automatically without you doing anything. And I found that Hattori's sword, the blade from the bits, that's the reward for completing his quest, and to do the farming strategy, you can't complete the quest, is the best steel sword in The Witcher 3. So you really don't want to save Hattori. The other downside with Hattori is that you get these keys, and each key weighs 0.001 kilograms or whatever their weight unit is. And so if you do this 100 times, you're going to get 1 to your weight, and you can't get rid of the keys because they're quest items. So that's the downside with Hattori. But I think that's the best strategy after the wraiths. So the wraiths is way better than Hattori or the Neckers. And it's also way better than these strategies that involve killing tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of drowners or bandits, right? So, like Mon Crane Castle, if you don't kill the leader, then you can get it to respawn. You can kill those guys repeatedly. Now, that's a great money farm for a late game player, but it's as an XP farm, it's not as good at all as the Wraiths or Hattori or even the Necker Nests. And please, there's some unreasonable claims that are being made about killing drowners, but it's basically whether you're especially killing the drowners, you're going to get carpal tunnel doing that, and you're not going to get anywhere near the XP that you're going to get with the Wraiths, regardless of what people claim. Now, if you're not at top level, like if you're not above level 50, and in particular if you're below level 42, I think that actually the Neckers in Hearts of Stone or the Cyclops are better farming strategies than the Wraiths. So I'm estimating conservatively that you could make 4,000 per hour with the Wraiths, and you could make about 4,000 to 5,000 with the Cyclops or the Neckers in Hearts of Stone. So the Neckers in Hearts of Stone, they're high-level Neckers. I think they're level 36 Neckers. The Cyclops is level 30. So once you get 6 levels above, then you only get 2 XP on just the story. But if you do story level difficulty for the Cyclops, you could get conceivably 4,800 XP per hour. You'll get less if you do it on Death March, but you may want to do it on You may want to farm it on Death March because you're trying to get the trophy, and if you're relatively early in the game, if you change, then you won't get the Death March trophy. And then the Neckers, it's better to do them on Death March, actually. I found you got more XP each run. I think the Cyclops, you got at 40 for story each run, and each run takes a half a minute. And then the Neckers, I found each run took about 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and you'd get about 115 XP killing all the Neckers. And you could be a really low level. I think you could do either one of those as early as level 11, but you have to stop with the Cyclops after level 36 because it's level 30, and you have to stop with the Neckers because they're level 36. So 6 levels above, then you only get 2 XP per kill on story or 1 XP per kill on Death March. Subscribe to Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush the Witcher 3 Next Gen update. Let me know your favorite farming strategy, or if you have any problems with the Wraiths in the comments. Good luck on the path.